Now is the time!
No, 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 the time is no, 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 the time is no, 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 the time is no, no, no.
Here we are in Akono village walking with our candidate, Mr. David Nakid. This is his hometown, and I think there are about 197 Nakids in this village.
Right now, everything is looking great so far, the candidate, sticking up to the word, Right now, we started agriculture, I think up in the back of Akono there for the youths and them to bring them out, get them employment. David Nakid, David Nakid is a down to earth man. Cool, he humble, he does listen, he arms open out for everyone. Yeah, David representing the youths, Yes, right now we are on the great road to victory.
Hi everyone, I'm your candidate for Tinapuna, David Nakid, asking you to come take a look at the energy that the UNC is generating all around the East-West corridor, especially here in the constituency of Tinapuna. Come out and support our economic and social transformation package, designated by our PL Kamala Prasad Bisasi. 50,000 more jobs, lower taxes. Come and join with us moving forward with unity.
Hi, nice to meet you. Right, looking forward to the support. Things going very well here at Barataria San Juan. The energy is high, the election bell has rung, and Barataria San Juan is ready to get Trinidad and Tobago working again under the leadership of the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa as our next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
I am Sharon Marad Garam, Shadow Councillor for Barataria, and we have been working Barataria since last Wednesday. So far, when we have finished today, we would have completed 14 of our PDs, and the reception is exceptional. Everyone is coming out, it faces everything. People wouldn't be coming out, they are coming out. Now is the time for the United National Congress. It's pace on the road.
Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time to put them out.
Listen! Take some education! Listen! Come on! Look back up your valleys there, B&M have to go. Just now is election, we bringing back UNC.
And it's back to deal with the B&M. And to you on the radio, and to you watching on TV, do not adjust your dial. It is Anil Yassine right here, live and direct, never went anywhere. Because the Douglas could talk either way. Because the Douglas could talk either way.
Good evening and welcome to Douglas Politics. Let me tell you something one time. Fitzgerald Hines, what is wrong with you, sir? What is wrong with you? I know you're lineman with Rowley and all you have tendencies to go off. Let me tell you all something. This election is a serious thing, And you have some gentlemen that wearing red. Like me, I know where them grow up if they were drag up, if somebody drag them out of barn, in a farm, in a pig pen. This, let me tell you something. Fitzgerald Pumsite Rasta Hines, let me tell you something, boy. Your mother never teach you to respect woman and take it easy, take your time. There's a young lady, I think from the Congress of the People, Akila Bermudez. She's an activist, she cares about the country, she asks questions. On Facebook, and I see Rudal Munilal talk to Hema Ramki soon and tell she that Fitzgerald Hines Pumsite Rasta look like he's the minister of Facebook. Well, I now understand what Munilal said. Because the whole Alavanti calling for Hines. They under pressure, no jobs, no employment, no baby milk, no education, no sport, no funding, no nothing. You build a little pond for them, they can't even swim in the pond. So this young lady, Akila Bermudez, asked Fitzgerald Hines on Facebook some simple question. right? Because about his contact number and so on, because all of a sudden now, he now get a Kobo Sweat as a minister. But Pumpsie Terrace, you are no shame, boy. You working so hard 40 years in politics and you still getting Kobo Sweat. Boy, go and do something else. Go and sell doubles or corn soup or something, boy, because you really ain't good. And as you reach, people get less water. So when LaHunt was there, it was 27% of the population getting 24/7 supply. You now come and it dropped to 22%. And so this young lady is a lady. Ask a question to a minister of government, a minister of Pumpsie Terrace clown. And hear what this clown write on Facebook publicly, you know. Fitzgerald Hines to Aquila Bermudez. I once thought that you were a spring chicken, but I saw a picture of you and realized that I the English from all your Minister of Public Utilities when he talking, he pretend like the Queen have a rasta. Oh, Madam President, you can't even write English, you're clown to attack a woman. But I saw a picture of you and realize that dealing with an old yard fowl. You ever watch yourself in the mirror? Your old clown Fitzgerald, Kobo Sweat, that what you go tell a woman? You have no brain to answer, lady, with your policy. You attack a woman, but she's an old yard fowl. You ever watch yourself good? You ever really watch yourself good? We never see no picture. We could see Forrest all tight pants with girl and thing smiling and blushing with he and thing. Down to one of we UNC girls that see she take a picture with Forrest. Hey, let me see all doing that. You understand? Fitzgerald Hines, how come me I never see you in a picture with a nice girl or nice thing, boy? You criticizing people about looks. You ever watch yourself? It's a mirror in that mansion you built. You pay back your loan from 2003 yet, Fitzgerald Hines? Your embarrassment, boy. And that is P&M man for all you. You calling a young lady a yard fowl? And you's a minister Kobo Sweat? You disgusting Pumpsie Terrace, boy. Fire burn you, that's why you can't even walk in your constituency. Go now. Go in your constituency. From one clown to the next. Winston Gypsy Peters, my brother, how you going, boy? How you going, Winston Gypsy Peters, boy? I still remember in the conversation you had with me at Back to Basics. When I pong you a month before during Carnival, when you're buffing the P&M. Remember Winston Gypsy P&M Peters, remember, my brother? You complaining that there was no funding for Carnival and Carnival activities. But I say, but Winston P&M Peters, I say it on the radio, but you in charge. You was in charge of the NCC. So how you mean it had no, if it had no money, is you had no money, that you ain't get no money from your government, your P&M Rowley government, your small pill, Farisal rental tight pants government gypsy. When you see men Carnival I come down in your tent and you tell me, hello God, you know it's not a P&M, I just, you know, trying to do a job and thing like that. It's not a P&M. Gypsy? Well, the conversion is clear and true now, boy. Let me read for you what Gypsy Peters, my brother Gypsy, Lord have mercy. Me I know how you could reach so old, be so bright, and get so dotish, Gypsy. How that happen? Normally when you cross 65, you say, well, I have made it. I have done well. I have reached a certain stage of life and I'm intelligent and I'm brilliant and I'm a calypso monarch and my extempo is brilliant. I'm a classic. But you don't get dotish so far. You don't regress after 65 unless it's medical condition. Listen to Winston P&M Gypsy Peters. That's why I tell all you, vote them out quick, you know, because like when you drink that Balize juice, it has attack your brain, it has attack your personality, it attack your manhood. Like, once you wear red, you just become a kind of mama pool man. Rowley talking about he does shea, he does pasture, he does have to groom woman. This Fitzgerald Hines attacking our next woman, calling she yard for like he ain't watch your own face. You understand? And now this one, Winston Gypsy, Calypso Monarch, my brother Gypsy. Oh Lord, I can't even read it. I'm trying to break some reading it. I'm so shame for you, Gypsy. Gypsy, a shame, boy. I ain't gonna read it. I can't do gypsy that. Archie, I can't do gypsy that. I cannot let the whole population know. Look how where gypsy fall. Jack Warner, and it was Ram Jack G. Oh Lord, Jack Warner, you are almost shame for your boy gypsy. Read it. Oh God, gypsy. Oh Lord. Oh God. Come August 10th. This is Winston Gypsy. PNM candidate for Moruga Table. So Gypsy is a PNM, right? Don't tell analysts, no. Yeah, resign from the UNC yet, you know. Take care of the fire here before nomination day. Come August 10th, the PNM is the right and only choice. A government that has managed to keep the population safe in the wake of a pandemic. Gypsy really right now? In the face of a pandemic with a low infection rate and an international approval rate for its handling and management of the COVID-19 pandemic. What international rating, Gypsy? Gypsy? Oh Lord, Balize juice, mush your brain, Gypsy. Undoubtedly, the PNM is the right and only choice, says Winston PNM Gypsy. A compassionate government, which to date, a compassionate government that suffer poor black people from day one, that you was complaining, they suffer the pan, they suffer the carnival, they suffer the calypso, they cut the budget for carnival in regional carnival, mass, they nearly had no stick fighting, they nearly had nothing, and now you ball a compassionate government, Gypsy. Gypsy, I think today, sorry Gypsy, as of today, you're not my friend, Gypsy, I'm done with you. Gypsy, don't call me. If you come back to your sanity, give me about 6 years break. Call me in 2026 if you get back saying on August 11th. Call me on August 12th, 2026. I go talk to you, Gypsy. I'm done with you. Gypsy, you really serious? A compassionate government? A government that take funding from special needs children? A government that shut down Kamla Children Life Fund? A government that cut school feeding by 45 million per year for 5 years? A government that cut sports and football budget by 130 million per year? That is compassion. A government that have people thieving textbook in Mohammed's bookstore is compassionate. A government that build a school, Gypsy. A government that suffer your own calypso extempo. A government that cut pan in school is compassionate, Gypsy. What the Balize juice have in it, boy? Gypsy, you. I'm done with you, bro. Don't call me now. Block. Delete me. Because I done it. But what you prove, Gypsy, you prove that Kamla was right. Remember, I was vexed when Kamla didn't choose you in 2015. You see how bright the lady is? She 5 years brighter than me. Because she knew what you was, Gypsy. She knew you was of that. She knew you was illogical. She knew you wasn't making sense. And that's why she didn't pick your PNM tail. Go and sing a soca. Come and sing a soca on Anil now. Sing a soca and tell Anil how I move from the heights of brilliance to the depths of despair. How I move from the heights of monarchy to the depths of digging in the gutter. Gypsy, you're going to get one cocktail. After you get it, retire, resign, go and plant peas down in Moruga Tableland in a little place and sell gas, Gypsy. Lord have mercy. Listen to this, Gypsy. So you want to vote because Rowley do good with the pandemic. And somebody say international rating agency. Gypsy, stop lying now. The Oxford thing was a little student thing. It wasn't based on implementation. The rating, we not even in the top 100. We're about 168 in the real rating. Gypsy, they have only done 3,000. You, the PNM, you, Gypsy, you have only tested 3,993 people as of 2 days ago. Out of 1.4 million. Gypsy, you have not even tested to have a curve. You're doing the Trump phenomena. If you don't test, you don't get positives. If you don't test, you don't have COVID. And you come in to tell me that that's good? Look at your clown, the Prime Minister, who tell you to say the same thing, that have no COVID, right? But yet he making a speech to the opening of a UTC to tell poor people that he locked down a country without COVID and daily paid workers of 400,000 people ain't make a cent for nearly 3 months. The grants that he said they will get, only 70,100 people get out of 153,009. 80,000 people still to get. And that is only have 1,500, you know. What groceries all you could buy with 1,500 when Rowley, Gypsy, and Coleman, but with Faris, tight pants, and small pin, put VAT back on food? Here, Rowley. When the economy reopens while the COVID-19 pandemic continues to wreak havoc across the world, stressing the caution is imperative in an uncertain time. Rowley said it is even more important now to be financially prudent, to invest and save rather than consume and waste. This is the man who ain't save nothing, who blow out Gabriel Faria, but good for you, Gabriel Faria, because you send the chickens to roost. You put Rowley there. You support Rowley there as management and managing director of Guardian. You forget, even before you get blown, you pay for a survey to tell Rowley that he's the best. You have Gypsy confused and all talking a set of rubbish about COVID and vote for Rowley because it's brilliant. Rowley don't even believe Rowley. Because Rowley is saying, as the economy reopens, we have to be careful. It's uncertain times. How it could be uncertain if we are no COVID? If you all did so good and your testing was so brilliant and we only had 116 tests, we just had a few extra from those who were in the quarantine. But 116, we stay at that number for 9 weeks. We stay at 8 deaths for 3 months. According to your testing, Rowley, the Alsing, the convent girl, not so. So if you all believe your testing, why are you nervous? Because you conquer COVID, it are no COVID. Or is it that you know you lie and you ain't sure what COVID? And the 490 deaths from respiratory illness since December to April, that some of that might be COVID. And you're not sure, so you're uncertain. Well, one thing they're certain about, that the PNM is the wrong choice. Gypsy, you telling Anil the Douglas PNM is the right choice? So PNM is the right choice for education? No, boy. Gypsy, PNM is the wrong choice. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask all you something. All you listening? Think about it carefully now. Think about what is important to you, those watching, and share the live, please, because we coming back. That fuel getting coming hot. Small pin just now. Share the live, please. And while you're sharing the live, ask yourself what is important to you. So for important to me is safety, education, and sport. Okay? Then you could go with health, poverty eradication. I have a whole list of things for my country, right? But let me just take education and sport. Important to me, for my children, and so on. You study what's important to you. And there we go. I am telling you all that PNM is the wrong choice if you like education. And I've been through that 100 times. I don't have to all you know it by heart. They may build a school. For jobs, them kill off 103,000 jobs before COVID. Now 20% of businesses not going to open back. That is another 100,000 people out of work under Rowley and his dance government, including Gypsy. Then sport. But don't even talk sport. If all you, oh God, all you, please. If all you like sport, it's only yellow you're voting. Sport, right now sport, you have Anil, you have Kamla, you have Naked, you have a whole list of sport. If you like pan and culture, you have the chairman of the UNC is a pan man, Peter Kanai. Who is the pan man in the PNM? If you like health, with Fuad Khan, Lakrambodo, Tim Gopi Singh. If all you like health, look who them put. A man who don't even have a pharmacology degree. A man who's suffering from Dr. Envy. Convent girl the Alsing versus my doctors on this side. Oh, come on. PNM is the wrong choice for foreign policy. Who's the right choice for foreign policy? Right now, the entire country, each one of you all out there, and remember the Douglas didn't panic long time when Kamala hold up the list for Delcy and the PDVSA, and as I'm now discovering as Jubal Chavez, right? Remember that? I told you, hold up, no sanctions. The USA is not a mad country. There could be sanctions on individuals for making decisions to try to evade sanctions. Remember that? That was about 7 weeks ago. However, right now, each and every one of y'all out there, we are all at risk of U.S. sanctions because Rowley, Smallpin, and Newman George have carried the joke too far. It's not about a shipment of 148,908 barrels of gasoline again. It's about a continued plan and contractual obligation signed MOU with Trafigura PTE and Roger, who does stand up to the left. Roger, I had to deal with you, you know. I find it as lean, so. How you leaning so, Roger? Eh? And you're only bullying woman, but you're afraid man. And you're treating Rowley nice. I have to watch your boy, Roger. Why you just lean so when you're talking? Eh, Roger? But I'll go deal with it just now. This has gotten serious because there's an MOU signed with Trafigura PTE, Wilmer Rumpetti, Maduro, Delcy, with all your refinery. It's not Rowley's refinery, you know, my people. It's your refinery. And that is a continuous evasion of sanctions. Remember I explained the US will have a policy and a position. They would have warnings like how Mondelo had to jump in the thing to show Smallpin to tell the truth, to teach Smallpin how to tell the truth. And then Chung from the State Department gave a speech to businesses and alerted them. And then Pompeo gave a warning and so on. This is the process. After about 6 or 7 warnings and a policy position is clear to evade or to assist Maduro, an indicted narco-terrorist, in evading U.S. sanctions. Every one of us out there now under the risk of sanctions because of Rowley and Smallpin. All you really love them so much? Y'all who would like to take your children to Disney World after SEA when the skies open up in November and so on, when there's a vaccine, y'all, and happy 4th of July to the United States of America from the United National Congress and from the DOGLA, who we support Juan Guaido as interim president of Venezuela. We are on the side of the United States of America in the United National Congress, the party in yellow. Now is the time for foreign policy that makes sense, that protects our U.S. interests, protects the 73% of food that comes from the USA. All of our entertainment comes from the USA. All of your credit cards are in US dollars. All of y'all want to go Disney World and get visa, line up by Mali Street and get visa. Kamala Prasad Bisesa is of that. Rowley is of all you get sanctioned, all you go Venezuela, no toilet paper, no food. He happy with Maduro doing his conga line dance. He and Maduro could dance and baila to gasolina, and all of y'all suffer. All of us suffer. All of us get pressure. Is that what you want? Are y'all serious? Foreign policy is on the ballot. It is on the ballot. So you either vote for Rowley and Smallpin, them clung with Newman George and sanction. You notice how the media playing games with all, yeah? The biggest story in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, the biggest faux pas in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, the greatest risk of every citizen in Trinidad and Tobago, and the story just, let me hear Newsday, Guardian, Express. We're going to listen for it, eh? We're going to listen for it. Let me hear TV6, CNC3. Wait, let's listen for their investigative reporting on Fuelgate. You see the games they play? And that's a disgrace. Because putting whatever interest all you have in that clown called Rowley over and above Trinidad and Tobago is an absolute disgrace. All over the US reports, Miami report, England, London, the court, the High Court of Commercial Court say Maduro fire burn you, Juan Guaido. Gasoline reach, El Palito are coming with the information, more information. You all investigate. Did you all ask RBC if money reach on the 15th? Did you all ask for Citizens Media? Did you all find out? Did you all see the whole world talking about Ruperti, Maduro, and their attempts? And Trinidad and Tobago name only calling all around the globe, but not in Trinidad and Tobago, not in the Guardian, no front page, not in Judy Raymond. She put it on page 27 and 33. Foreign policy is on the ballot. You either vote for Rowley and Maduro, or Kamala and USA. You either vote for indicted narco-terrorist Maduro and his 14 others, including Delcy, which is Rowley friend and them, who ain't open border. He wouldn't open border for all you. He not even opening border, he say for all you to come and vote. But he opened border for Delcy to come and talk in his face. But she didn't tell him what he came to talk about. She didn't give us. That's how state visits go. You don't say what you're coming to talk about. Foreign policy is on the ballot. Even though the Newsday, Guardian, Express, TV6 and CNC3 would like it not to be. How could it not be? All of our children go to USA on scholarship for football. Are you playing with that? We get scholarships for music, for arts, to US universities. How many children we have out there track and field? All of that will be at risk. We are already in a foreign exchange crunch because of Rowley's poor economic plan. Foreign policies on the ballot. August 10th, you either vote for Maduro or you vote for USA. Simple. And what Maduro do for all you? We don't import no food from Venezuela. Venezuela have no food. We don't even import beers from Venezuela. Venezuela have a nice rum there. I used to go when I drink, but them we can't even get that. What Maduro, what Maduro does for Trinidad and Tobago? USA 72% of our food and beverage. All of our entertainment. All our soca artists, DJs, mic men, I think want to go there and make money in all the carnival across the USA. All our sports people, our education, our scholarships. All of you who buy goods, manufacture goods, importing goods. All of you want to go there on vacation. All of you want to go to USA for medical attention. That's on the ballot. So PNM is the wrong choice, Gypsy. The wrong choice. Poverty eradication. Rowley raised poverty rate to 23.85%, the highest in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. That's the right choice. So we want all of we to be poor then. So vote red. That's the right choice. If you want to be poor, if you want to increase poverty, vote red. Vote Rowley. And as I'm talking vote red, let me ask you all sensible people out there. Is the law for everybody? Or is the law only, does it only apply to United National Congress members and people in yellow? Because go on Facebook. I saw on Facebook today Foster Cummins. And Kamala bought some files on you, Foster Cummins. You fitting in nice with Small Pin and Angus Young, Richard Young, Winfred Espinay, Noel Garcia, Rowley, and Newman George. You fit in nice. The problem is they're going to bring you through the Senate because that curtail that Jolene John going and put on you in Laoketa Talparo, you wouldn't know where it passed. Laoketa Talparo, them youth men and them not on no race, you know. And them done no Oreo, Rowley not black. So they're not voting white. So all you call race now, bring race into the thing. Because Rowley whiter than Trump from the inside. All you feel it easy. So Foster Cummins, how come they had a video with you and I sit down on an account, you know, on the Facebook? But he had a set of people in a Rima jersey. I thought he's like Hoketa Talpa. That's what all you doing now. All you bringing CPEP crew. All you don't do poor people that now. Forcing people to wear that ugly red jersey to get rash. Eh? You in Laoketa Talparo, I see 42 people in a Rima jersey. You take penny people over. How come Foster Cummins had a kind of walkthrough in Laoketa Talparo? I counted over 96 people. I thought the law is 25. Babylon Boops, what's going on? It's okay for red to do it? Let me see all your whole, all your stop one crew of yellow for having one person above 25. And all you go understand that this country cannot continue down this path where all your police feel that red could do what they want, but jam yellow. No. All you go and look at it. Foster Cummins, you ain't even reaching the cabinet, you breaking the law already. You fit in nice, boy. You're really in your crew. Gypsy, you should feel At home there now, but I don't understand, Gypsy. Gypsy, I want to cry, Gypsy. Oh God, Gypsy, that the right choice? We coming back.
What is happening here is a medical clinic, okay? These have become a monthly service to the constituents of Lower Talparo. You see the demand for quality health care. We usually have about 10 doctors who will come in, specialists, and give up their services. There's a need, and the point is the doctors came to me because what you're finding out as you go along is that we have a lot of resources in the country. Everything doesn't have to cost money. People who have benefited from the country, like doctors and engineers and attorneys, they want to give back.
When we see the patients, we are very professional. We deal with whatever is the clinical situation. We deal with them as a person one-on-one, and we treat what is wrong with them. We really don't speak politics. It's a charity, and we're just trying to build a little bit of goodwill with the community that we are in. Some of these people can't access care, and we try to facilitate that as best as we can. There's a need for dentistry in the country. Dentistry is very expensive. We don't have much dentists in the public healthcare system. Most of the health centers don't have dental practices, dental clinics. So most people, the only way they see a dentist is through the private setting, and it is expensive.
It's private dentistry, right? And it's free, right? And then plus you guys tell me whether it costs you the half price due to this health fair. So I go ask.
And we back inside. Let me tell you something. Before the NI code is just Archie had the thing up for me. Archie, they have a little thing, a little quotation with Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. You could put up that day for me, boy. I want, and all the people, when Archie put up big, read that anytime a government resorts to blaming the opposition for its failure to deliver on their mandate and their responsibilities to the people, it is a clear sign that they have accepted that they have outlived their usefulness. Keith Christopher Rowley. Vote Kamala, vote UNC. Rowley said so. Very simple. Simple. That's all them could do. Blame Kamala, Kamala, Kamala. Blame Wade Mark, blame Anil, blame LiveSport, blame. But the place is in a total and complete mess. So please, for those of you who don't want to listen to Anil, the UNC is all right. Share the live. Those who of you who are PNM, listen to your Prime Minister. He tell you don't vote for he because all he does is Kamala, 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 Kamala. And he said when somebody in government resorts to blaming the opposition, he has outlived his usefulness. So don't listen to Anil. Listen to Rowley. Now let me deal with Rowley too. After I mashed him up the other day, also in that press conference, Keith Christopher Rowley took 3.5 to 5 days to come and tell you all, as a Prime Minister, that the independent institution of the PCA, the Police Complaints Authority, he is sending a message while the country is up in arms because no justice, no peace. The country has seen something on video that is so devastating that so many police officers could be involved in something like that. And Keith Christopher Rowley, as the leader, as the Prime Minister, says, I have no confidence in the PCA. The PCA no good, them can't investigate nothing. Is that a message to send? So you as the executive member, sink an independent institution and then go on to say, when the investigation is not satisfactory, that he will call a coroner's inquest. And that's your Prime Minister. Tell me, for those intelligent people, tell me if that makes sense. to the Law Association, to the Senior Counsel, Martin Daly, you thought that, you didn't hear that, right? You're intelligent. To Keith Scotland, you brilliant lawyer, intelligent, brilliant, but PNM Balize Juice, you gone in PNM, Port of Spain South, with all your brain, Keith Scotland? What's your opinion on what Dr. Rowley did, Keith Scotland, by talking to the press in the midst of uprising, riots, revolt? People are upset about justice, no justice. We're seeing abuse in front of our eyes. And the Prime Minister of the country says, the body, independent body that is to do the investigation is a bunch of jokers and them ain't no good and they have never been good. What say you, Keith Scotland, my brother, my Fatima boy, my bright boy? I'm listening. Because you went and joined that. So I want to know, because I know you bright, Keith Scotland. I know how bright you are. But you see, you join something, you join a group there that no matter how bright you are, you just have to dumb down yourself. So congrats. Because I know you can't say nothing that was asking you. You see? Now before you went and screened for that stupidness, I could have asked you and you would have answered me. And you would have told me in your Queen's English, Keith Scotland. You'd have said, Arnold, that is not on. The Prime Minister erred in his statement there because he did not espouse confidence. He did not encourage confidence in the PCA for his people to quell a situation that required emotions to be calm. He was not calming. You wouldn't have told me that, Keith, after your bench press 300? Yes, my brother. But you joined the PNM, God bless you, brother. You're in a safe seat, you're going to be in Parliament. So that was brilliant, Keith Christopher Rowley. But somehow I open the newspapers and I don't see anybody, no law association, no Transparency International, no constitutional lawyers, no President Paula May Weeks, because President Paula May Weeks, you are the brightest constitutional lawyer, judge, High Court justice, and so on. You must know that that's not on for a Prime Minister to tell the entire country that a body that you appoint, and you appoint, the President has appointed members of the PCA and so on. He cross the bounds, attack your body in front of you, in your expertise. I'm not hearing nothing. Why am I not hearing anything? You see how this country, that's why things don't work? That is so irresponsible. And let me ask this clown Rowley who said it when the PCA finished and they failed, also sending a signal to the population and to those who are already upset that the investigation will be of no use. So therefore, riot again. That's how intelligent Keith Christopher Rowley is. This is why I'm shocked that anybody in PNM would vote for that. Y'all cannot be serious. Y'all must have brighter people in the PNM than that. So when he calls the coroner inquest, let me ask you all something. What evidence is the coroner's inquest going to accumulate? We saw on video the crime scene was decimated. There is no crime scene. Them Babylon pick up bodies as this way. It's Gucci and they're hunting in the forest. Car move. No investigation, no amount of bullet. We don't know who shoot, who didn't shoot. We don't know what caliber. We don't know who registered. But we have no info. What the coroner going to investigate? Where's the evidence? Where's the case file? What was done? There was no cordoning off. The crime scene was not there. The crime scene was contaminated immediately and continuously. So what coroner's inquest going to do? What them going to investigate? All your vote for that. Now, I want to see how sharp my list. Share the live, please. Because I'm going to the small pin now, I know. Because you see, the Minister of National Security is a serious worker. It's a serious job. And this small pin has brought that office down to the lowest level in the history of Trinidad and Tobago since 1962. He has made a mockery of the office. A Minister of National Security, his comments are supposed to be so tailored, so perfect, so measured, so based on fact, also not to cross bounds. Because a Minister of National Security is supposed to engender confidence make the people feel safe and secure, that he's in control of a situation. He's not supposed to be a clown like Small Pin, just talking nonsense, spewing rubbish out of his mouth every time he open it. Yes, we have human intelligence. Oh, you sure it's human intelligence? They didn't have two potong up on the hill there. Eh? It's human intelligence you have. Yes, human intelligence that this was orchestrated and it was a plot from beforehand. Yes, yes. The UNC told the police to go and lick up their men so and do all of that and then drag body and do and mash up the crime scene, and then the UNC put the camera there on the man's house to film it. Correct. That's a Minister of National Security, and he has been doing that since January. Where Reginald Dumas, where the media, where Transparency International, where the Law Association, on the comments uttered by the Honorable Minister of National Security, that members of Parliament on the United National Congress were actively paying criminals to sporadically and randomly kill innocent citizens. That man said that out of his mouth. Where is, oh, it's okay, he could say that because we is UNC. Eh? We is UNC, so he could say anything. Great. But I want you all to see something. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to tell Archie to play our video. And all of you all there, sit down and watch the video carefully and try to figure out why Anil played the video. Why did Douglas play this video? Let me see if we could save our country with some intelligence and some brain. All of y'all. How many there? 2,200? Share the live. I want to go up to 3,000. Right? I want y'all, I'm testing y'all, you know. This is a test. This is like children SCA. I'm going to play the video. Watch it and tell me. Talk it out loud if you're watching it with your family. Alexander, if you're 5 years old, show your parents that you're smarter than them. Tell Uncle Anil what is wrong with this video. Something doesn't belong right here. Okay? Play the video, Archie.
Yes, send all your troops, send them here now. You're shutting down that protest that's taking place right here by Perch Bus. Pick them up. It's just to pick them up. Police like bridge. Extraction vehicle. Extraction vehicle. I need to get the extraction vehicle at Duncan to drive along Duncan and to the streets. Where we at the bus? But let's stand for the streets. That's where we need that extraction vehicle. Let's stand for the streets. See if we can call them, what? See if we can send a message to call them. And we'll call that fence.
Do you all know? Did you all notice? What's wrong with that video? What is absolutely not on in that video? What goes against the Constitution and the separation of powers in that video? What is an abuse of power in that video? What is totally wrong in that video? What sets a terrible precedent in that video? What is totally unacceptable in that video? That is a video of the Operations Center where the Commissioner of Police is doing his job brilliantly, along with other police officers and security contracted people doing their job to fight crime in an operations center, doing police work, active police work, active police intervention, active police evidence gathering, because that's where the evidence begins. When you see Gary Griffith telling his forces how to move and so on, that is the beginning. If there are any charges, that forms part of the evidence against people and so on. So active cases. Out of that, we heard reports of 72 or 76 people being arrested. So people are being arrested. Police active investigations are going on. The police is an independent unit, an independent constitutional arm in Trinidad and Tobago. Independent. What is Stuart Young doing there? Show it again.
Yeah, send all your troops, send them down here now. You're shutting down that protest that's taking place right here by the Purity Mosque. So it's to pick them up. It's just to pick them up. The police like bridge. Extraction vehicle. Extraction vehicle. I need to get the extraction vehicle at Duncan to drive along Duncan and to the streets. Where we at? But there's Stanford Street. That's where we need that extraction vehicle. There's Stanford Street. See if we can call them, but see if we can send a message to call them and we'll call that fence.
A Minister of National Security has no operational responsibility, is not a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, cannot instruct or be involved in any operation involving the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service because they are separate and apart from the executive, which is the government arm in our constitutional democracy. Also inside there are very high-level police officers. For those of you who may not understand, let me drill down now because I thought my eyes were deceiving me. The Minister of National Security provides funding and equipment and policy direction. The TTPS then implements, operationalizes, and handles everything else. There is to be no crossover. If the Minister of National Security builds an operation center and gets money and so on and would like a photo up, they take the photo up when it's not in use, when there's not an ongoing operation. So you take some pictures and Mama Guy, whether they want to take it in tight pants like Al Rawi, Al Rental, or what, you go and do it. But an active operation being conducted by none other than the Commissioner of Police, who is doing his work very well. But also inside of there, you're seeing some khaki, some high-level police officers. How is a Minister of National, this is not because it's PNM, you know. Any minister from any government is not to be there. Let me ask you all this. Suppose some of these police officers have to investigate the procurement of 2 ferries and 2 Cutlass defense vessels because there was no board, no tender committee, there was no invitation to tender, no evaluation. And that same man who's in the operation telling and pointing and giving information and instructing police where to go and how to go, that same man could be under investigation because his statement was when he came out of the hostile INCAT evaluation of ministers procuring with the Prime Minister. He said, I didn't say, he said his committee that he chaired saw the bids, saw that Hostile's bid was higher than INCAT's. The committee contacted Hostile and told them about INCAT's bid. You cannot give or divulge secret bid information to another competitor. He then said to you, the public, and to the media, that because of that, Hostile lowered the price, and so his committee of the cabinet told the Prime Minister and the cabinet to award one each. Talking about millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. But that man is in the operation center of the police. And I'm not hearing Reginald Dumas, Vishnu Raghunath, Winford James, Martin Daly, Law Association. Anybody? Anybody? Suppose these same police are to investigate tenders where a small company just start to beat big bank. Big banks just start a loss tender. Republic Bank lost. First Citizens lost. Scotia lost. RBC lost. And some merchant bank lost to a little chunky place. But they are developing a relationship with a minister of government who's in charge of your money, and who you all say when we are in government you want to be careful and transparent and the police have to be able to investigate. What's that? How is he on that team? How he make that side? How he gets elected to be in there? Why was he not thrown out and put in his place and let him know, hey, not here, boy. This is not for you. This is not no politics here. Go down by his house. Go in your cabinet. Go by the palace and meet Delcy and as Jubal Chavez. But it's a joke. Because it's okay, because it's a PNM. That's correct. That's correct operation. A member of the executive and cabinet can be in a police operation, instructing where police are being instructed to do their work, where charges are being laid. A politician. And the silence is deafening from y'all who are more intelligent than me. All of you senior counsel who just waiting to get brief. Why all you don't go and buy some drawers instead of just waiting for brief because your country is sinking and you all have nothing to say? So what is your brain worth? What is all your knowledge worth? Because you all saw that too. I not brighter than all you. But I waiting to read. I waiting to see somebody smarter than me. Some judge, some retired judge, some former permanent secretary, somebody. Some former police commissioner, somebody who said, hey, if I was Minister of National Security, that's wrong too. If Jack Warner was in that operation, that's wrong too. If Brigadier Sandy, whoever, the Minister of National Security has no operational control and should not be allowed inside during a police operation. Y'all don't know how serious this thing is. Police is a serious thing, a totally independent thing. But ring the bell. Raman Roti upon a jersey, 4 CPEP and you happy work on the point. Where's the right choice, Gypsy? Gypsy, sing a kaiso now. Sing a kaiso, sing the right choice. Dealing with Smallpin again. He had a press conference too. He and Rowley just talk the same stupidness. And hear what Smallpin say. First of all, he said, and I quote, as it is my nature to be thorough, to double check, I contacted the head of the PCA, Mr. West, and he told me an investigation will be conducted. The PCA is a totally independent body. The Minister of National Security, whomever he or she may be, is not to contact the head of the PCA and ask anything. Where have we don't read books again. We don't understand propriety and what is supposed to happen. This man says that, and the media just sit down there and go, oh, I wonder if they have coffee after, boy. I feel I could take a sausage roll. You all serious? The man said that he called West. He not supposed to call West. Fast and out of place. And he said he's normally, what he said? As is my nature, he said, this Smallpin clung here. To be thorough. To double check. Why you didn't double check flipping Delcy plane? You forget to double check. You lost your nature there. Eh? Your nature cut. Eh? Asha Javid thief your nature that morning. How you did not check Delcy plane? How you didn't double check as is your nature? Ain't you say, I don't drill down. Heavy pandemic. Borders locked. Never in the history of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, a plane land, sanctioned aircraft, and you say, now the public servants and them do that, not me, I don't drill down, but now you just double check and it's in your nature to be thorough. Who you trying to fool, small pin? Wow. I want to also ask y'all. Y'all know I detest Keith Christopher Rowley. I've told you that, I continue to tell you, and I tell you why. Because everything about him goes against my grain. For him leaving a child for 44 years and pretending he don't exist, I can't agree with that. You understand? Cannot. For a black man to hate his own people like that, I can't agree with that. Look what he do to Tobago. Tobago has never suffered as much as in the last 4 years and 10 months under a Tobagonian Prime Minister from Mason Hall. Kamla Persad-Bissessar did not even in her list of accomplishments include running the sea bridge smooth. He collapsed the whole sea bridge and then laughed like the Marie Antoinette. Well, the male version, Mario Antoinette. Well, they have Armand Milky and Champa say. The next one, Kelvin Charles tell Tobagonians, sufferation is good. It builds character. That's why you suffering now, they vote you out. But why? You all know, anytime I come here, not one second will I lie on Keith Christopher Rowley. Not once. Not once will I lie on Stuart Smallpin. Clong. So I ask you all, why is it, and what is so important to Stuart Smallpin Young, that every time he comes to talk about the United National Congress, he has to fabricate? And y'all, the media, don't put him under any pressure. Look, he just said, who is to benefit, and throw innuendo that the UNC was orchestrating and plotting people who are black people who see with their own eyes. Stuart Young find that them can't see and discern what is right and wrong. They're not intelligent enough to know that that was injustice. That these young black people in Laventille and across the country cannot look at something and say that was wrong. Stuart Young come to the media and say those black boys could not organize and start the protest. It had to be somebody who had to gain, who paid them to do that. Well, that's how he, an elitist who lives amongst the elite all his life and never come on the ground, but you all put him up to represent the Black Party. Yes, man. The party that banned the Black Panther creator and the greatest, they ban him, and the Indian Bastille Pandey allow him to come back. Stokely Carmichael, all your balling about black man thing. Stuart Young, who never lime in no black party, never went no upper level, never went down in carnage and play cards and kick ball on Hague Street on the ground day, never play in Point Kumana down and take a sweat, never went down in Point 14 or in Matlot and nothing, never played dominoes and sit down, never went in a cricket match and play with black people, never. But he is the black man representative, and all they say, all they do like Indian. You see why race is so idiotic? Race had nothing to do with this election. It is sense and nonsense. So why is Stuart Young so willing to tell untruths on others? What is so important? What is so important that he tried to hold on to? Can't be 35,000 a month plus perks. Because when he was defending Calder Hart in the Commission of Inquiry, that the police had got a statement from Calder Hart 11 years now about his family and their passport. When he was there, that he was making that a day. So, how are you fighting? Well, you're fighting to hold that a month? You're fighting to lose money? Or is there something else important that is so important that it will make a human being just stand up and lie on other people? I telling all you, I detest them and I don't lie on them. I can't lie on them. I will not lie on them. So what could be so important to Stuart Young? That he just comes every time and you'll leave him with the right hand, the twitch. Once he doing this, Stuart Young, I dare you to stop doing this. Let me see you. Right? Could it be to maintain the luck of his brother? His brother, since he's swaying, I must say Angus Young, since Small Pin swaying under Rowley and become Rowley Gary Sobers, an officer of the Prime Minister and so on, his brother has become very lucky. Either very brilliant or very lucky. I mean, to move from zero work to 3.62 billion, I must applaud that. Nowhere else on this globe, and I am a coach who has been searching for an Olympic gold medal for 40 years. I only get bronze. Can't get the gold yet. But $3.625 billion in work. That is just luck. Is it that Stuart Young wants to maintain his brother's luck? Or what about his papa's luck? And Madonna said, Papa don't preach. What is so important to Small Pin? You all ever ask yourself that? Maybe it's the luck of the procurement of ferries and so on, that you all just allow them to do what they want. It's okay. Don't print nothing, media, all you're going good. Don't do anything. Don't study nothing. But what kind of human being really and truly would fabricate? What kind of human being would fabricate on others? Because you all know no UNC MP pay no criminal to randomly and sporadically kill innocent people. Do you all hear the ridiculous? It's so serious, me laughing, you know. Do you all hear what that man said? Think about if that man said that about you. That you would pay criminal to randomly and sporadically kill innocent people. So me, the UNC, Kamla, Munilal, Saddam Hussein, Tim Gopi Singh, members of parliament, members of the Senate. This is what he said. And none of y'all rake him over. He still has a job. He's saying that about other human beings when there's not one iota of evidence and not even a possibility of truth. Think about that. What the hell could be so important that any human being would wish to kill an innocent, another human? That is an act of terrorism. But it's okay because he's PNM and he said it about the UNC. That's okay. That is 7 months ago. He's coming back and going to ask you all to vote for him again. And that's okay. Where's the outrage? That's a minister. Are you all understand what he's saying? I take him a time because I want it soaking. A minister of national security just concocts the most ridiculous, ludicrous, asinine statement in history about other human beings. That they're sitting in parliament to try and help people, and these are people with track record who give baby grant, who buy textbooks, who build school, who provide sporting opportunity, who create jobs, who create diversification, who pave road, who build sporting facilities, who get food cards, who reduce poverty, who increase culture funding, people who have a track record of helping people. And this clown who nobody know, who meet Rowley in the Lioness Gate in the history of the Commonwealth, in Email Gate, and he boasts about that he met Rowley in that lion thing. And two of them lied together, and he protect Rowley and he defended Rowley in his Email Gate lie. You know, people, I boast that I met Phil Collins in 1986 in Wembley Stadium backstage in a Genesis concert. I boast that I met Nelson Mandela in 2010 at the World Cup. I met Morgan Freeman and I boast about that, those kind of things. Small Pin boasts that he met Rowley in Email Gate. And you all want to vote for that. That's the right choice. How could that be the right choice? How are there no columns? How are people not up in arms at a Minister of National Security lying on other human beings? Paying people, criminals, to randomly and sporadically kill innocent citizens, and you all find that's a funny joke? I don't think that's funny. Small Pin, you're disgusting, boy. We coming back.
Now is the time! No! 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 The time is no! 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 The time is no! 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 The time is no! No! No!
Here we are in Akono village walking with our candidate, Mr. David Nakid. This is his hometown, and I think there are about 197 Nakids in this village.
Right now, everything is looking great so far, you know, our candidate, you know, sticking up to the word, you know. Right now, we started with agriculture. I think up in the back of Kono there for the youths and them to bring them out, you know, get them employment. David Nakid, well, you know, David Nakid is a down to earth man. He's cool, he's humble, you know, he just listen, his arms open out for everyone. Yeah, David representing the youths, you know. Yes, right now we are on the great road to victory.
Hi everyone, I'm your candidate for Tenapuna, David Nakid, asking you to come take a look at the energy that the UNC is generating all along the East-West corridor, especially here in the constituency of Tenapuna. Come out and support our economic and social transformation package, designated by our PL Kamala Prasad Bisesa. 50,000 more jobs, lower taxes. Come and join with us moving forward with unity.
Hi, yes, nice to meet you. Right, looking forward to the support. Things going very well here at Barataria San Juan. The energy is high, the election bell has rung, and Barataria San Juan is ready to get Trinidad and Tobago working again under the leadership of the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa as our next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
I am Sharon Marad-Durham, Shadow Councillor for Barataria, and we have been working Barataria since last Wednesday. So far, when we are finished today, we would have completed 14 of our PDs, and the reception is exceptional. Everyone is coming out. In places where we think people wouldn't be coming out, they are coming out. Now is the time for the United National Congress. It's pace on the road.
Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time to put them out.
I'm not going to give up on the media. To the members of the media, I beseech you, on behalf of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, we want to know the truth. You have dropped the fuel gate issue like I've never seen a story being dropped before. I'm going to remind you all of what took place quickly, and then I have more information. Keith Christopher Rowley and Stuart Smallpin Young surreptitiously and quietly opened the border for Delcy Rodriguez to land a sanctioned jet with 5 PDVSA officials on it, and they went straight to meet the Prime Minister without an agenda, without a letter, without the Foreign Affairs Ministry doing anything, without any back and forth, without any discussion, while citizens could not come. That information was kept secret until citizens asked about it and people noted it. Kamala Prasad Bisesa then got the evidence of the landing cards and the immigration documents. Keith Christopher Rowley then held a press conference and sounded like the most idiotic fool in the history of leadership. He stuttered and stammered that even his pathological skill that he has developed over the last 40 years, it's amazing. I can tell you sometimes, if I am not concentrating and I listen to that man, even though I know all the facts and the numbers, sometimes I believe him too. And I have to hit myself one slap to wake myself back up. That's how good he is. He fumbled, could not do. His best friend of 50 years, Newman George, who he moved from HCC and put him in charge of Paria, then puts out a press release about gasolina. And in that press release, every point made needs verification, because independent analysis and international reports coming out of Venezuela, Miami, England, and Europe all show that Wilmer Ruperti, PDVSA, Trafigura, PTE, and Maduro and Delcy had their fingerprints all over that gasolina that went to Pointe-a-Pierre and left and went to El Palito in Venezuela on the Aldan. The Aldan took off its transponder. There's information that Ruperti has done this on several occasions. The US is aware of what he does. The ES Euro Trade Shipping is a Ruperti company. It's a small company in Geneva, but yet Paria did a due diligence and approved them for a 5.6 million US sale on when the annual revenue is 750,000. Newman George and Paria printed an ad in the newspaper on May 15th, May 19th, 2020, and said that on April 15th, ES Euro Trading Shipping paid their money, 5.634 million US by wire transfer from Deutsche Bank to RBC Bank. I showed you the invoice that I still have. The invoice was not created until the 27th of April, 12 days after Paria said that the bill was paid. And on the invoice, there was no information about any RBC account. It was a First Citizens account. So how could a foreign company, ES Trading from Geneva, know that Paria even had an RBC account if it's not on the invoice? The Trafigura invoice, which transformed from Europe, from Augusta, Italy, the gas, 321,000 barrels left Augusta, Italy on February 27th, and it was heading for Pointe-a-Pierre. Who put Pointe-a-Pierre? Who knew? Who alerted? You can't just put Pointe-a-Pierre just so. I can't just buy gas and say, well, where are we going? Let me put it Pointe-a-Pierre. How was that? And it was consigned to Shell. While it was coming across the Caribbean Sea, it changed to Trafigura PTE. Trafigura PTE is a company that has a long history with Wilmer Ruperti, 13 years in Venezuela, and PDVSA. Trafigura had signed a deal for 700 million US to form a cooperative with PDVSA up front, and that 700 million, keep in mind, when we are talking about Patriotic and Roger, who stand to the left, remember their bid included a $700 million figure that Colm Imbert then said with his cabinet, they don't want the 700 million US dollars for lean to the side Roger. On their agreement with Patriotic and Roger, who is the labor union leader who oversaw the demise of his own workers and all being fired, yet is happy with the person who fired them and angry against the person who had them working. This person included in the conditions for the sale of your refinery. And this is where it gets dangerous, because continuous evasion of sanctions is a very dangerous thing. One shipment of gasolina, only individuals may be at risk, but a continued, for as long as a contract for refinery for years, for decades, to evade US sanctions puts an entire country at risk because of your continued decisions to evade. Understand? Condition number 7 put in by Colm Imbert and Rowley, and I'm not doing this, okay? Colm Imbert and Rowley says to Roger, who's lean to the left, that he must sign an MOU with Trafigura PTE for supply of gasoline and other products in the transition phase and ongoing. We have information now coming out of Argus reporting that the MOU has been signed as of October 2019. That MOU with Trafigura PTE that is linked to Venezuela through Wilmer Ruperti and Maduro. Wilmer Ruperti is a Chavista and a Madurista. Dr. Keith Rowley says in the parliament that that is no big deal. And the media, Judy Raymond Newsday, Guardian, Express, nothing. Our country and all our citizens, all our businesses are at risk. And you don't care. What could be so important to y'all that y'all are not printed? I am begging y'all. Please investigate. I hope I am totally wrong. I hope that all the 55 questions that I asked, all of the discrepancies, all of the international media, all of the Reuters reports, all of the Miami Herald, all of the reports I have coming out of Venezuela, all of the reports that say Aldan went into El Palito on the night of Friday, April 24th, and unloaded, all the information I have from I hope it is wrong. It's nearly impossible to be wrong, but y'all investigate. Newsday, Express, Guardian. Let me read for y'all another link. Let me give you some more information. Because Rowley said, this is joke, irrefutable evidence that this never happened. It never took place. We call an election quick for all you to vote. Okay. Bloomberg. Refinerías de India detuvieron las compras de petróleo venezolano. India, this coming from India now. Reliance, la refinería privada más grande de India, paralizó las compras de petróleo al régimen de Nicolás Maduro. La industria que representó 25% de las exportaciones de Venezuela en 2019 no tiene planes de hacer futuros negocios. So India now stop all refining of Venezuelan products. Okay, everybody else is being very careful. They don't want to play because USA is very important to them for their food, for their manufacturing goods, for their technology, for their exports, for everything. Okay. Juan Guaido has won the case in London now. In London, there was $1 billion of gold, Venezuelan gold, in a bank in London. Juan Guaido's lawyers and Maduro's lawyers went to argue a case before commercial court judge Nigel Tier, and he was sitting in the High Court of England and Wales. And they were arguing who is the real president by the Constitution of Venezuela. You see, Rowley could sit down here and say all what he wants about the UN treaty and all that nonsense. The most important document in this discussion is the Constitution of Venezuela. So, a High Court judge was taking arguments from both sides. From Maduro, saying that he is the constitutional president of Venezuela, and Guaido, who is saying he is the constitutional interim president. So the judge had the Constitution, had it translated, and heard arguments from both sides, and came to a judgment. And the judge said, Her Majesty's government does recognize Mr. Guaido in the capacity of constitutional interim president of Venezuela. And it must follow that Her Majesty's government does not recognize Mr. Maduro. Archie, play that clip for me, please, because I want you all to also understand that this was in the works from a long time. When Chavez was sick in December 2012, he died in March 2013. But look what Chavez did on his deathbed. Look how sick these fellas are. Look how they wanted to control the coffers of Venezuela come hell or high water. This is December 2012. Listen to Chavez 4 months before he died. Bust it.
Sino que mi opinión firme, plena como la luna llena, irrevocable, absoluta, total, es que en ese escenario que obligaría a convocar, como manda la Constitución de nuevo, a elecciones presidenciales, ustedes elijan a Nicolás Maduro como presidente de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela.
So if you all understand what he said, he was telling his people of Venezuela that here is the cow. I am handing the cow to Nicolás Maduro. Bastio Pande, you know you're not supposed to hand no cow. You don't hand leadership. You work for it and people follow. That was Chavez to Maduro, and all the Chavistas went direct to Maduro. Then Maduro went to his head and started to breach the constitution of Venezuela. The judges in London went through the constitution of Venezuela and came to a judgment that Juan Guaido, based on the constitution of Venezuela, is the interim president of Venezuela. And therefore, the $1 billion in gold will not be given to Maduro. Let me give you some PTE Trafigura recent history. This is the company that Keith Christopher Rowley, Colm Imbert, and stand to the left Roger are saying that they have signed an MOU with to take over your refinery that belongs to you. Trafigura, they were convicted of oil price fixing in Malta. Winfred, explain how you're going. Rowley, how you going? Le Jean Valette, how you going? Malta, boy. Banned from all tenders at Enemy Malta between 1999 and 2012 because they were bid rigging and trying to get insider information on 3.2 billion US in value. This is Trafigura who's coming to take who Rowley and Imbert and Roger fine. This is who them fine to come and start up your refinery. Okay. Next, they were found guilty of trade in toxic diesel in Africa in 2016 that were given high levels of sulfur, and all the vehicles in Africa were starting to malfunction, the diesel vehicles, and there was a strong smell. Remember when Franklin and Can and them shut down all your diesel? When they shut down Petrotin, and the diesel that was coming was smelling stink. Put it together. All you remember? Okay. In Brazil now, there was a car wash scandal with Trafigura PTE, and the British Fraud Office investigated bribes at Petrobras, bribes from Trafigura PTE officials to Petrobras. Then in the Netherlands, Trafigura was accused of dumping toxic waste in the Ivory Coast in 2006. The court in Netherlands found Trafigura guilty, and they had to pay 200 million US to Ivory Coast for the cleanup where they were dumping toxic waste. They then were found guilty and had to pay a fine on top of the 200 million US, 30 million US. And they admitted liability. They admitted that they were dumping toxic waste in the Ivory Coast in Africa. That is who called me, but Rowley and Roger fine to buy your refinery. And Clause 7 says that Patriotic must complete a MOU with this company, this thing I talking about here. In Norway, there was a chemical explosion on May 24, 2007. Same as in the Ivory Coast. The owner of the waste that exploded in Norway was Trafigura PTE again. There was an oil for food scandal in Iraq, where a tanker chartered by Trafigura Behir, a tanker of gasolina, they double dip. Imagine for food, people hungry. And Trafigura so wicked, they were found guilty that it was topped up twice. So they put one set of food, but take two set of cargo. That's who Rowley, Imbert, and Roger have found for your refinery. In Jamaica right here, it's not only over the whole world. In 2004, Portia Simpson Miller, the Jamaican Prime Minister, the big man in Trafigura who's above Wilma Rupetti, Dauphin, he founded the thing. He went down Jamaica and they wanted to do some negotiation and business. Jamaica was able to take out some Nigerian oil, and Trafigura could get, through Jamaica's license, 7.5 cents per barrel of Nigerian oil taken out of a certain province. Dauphin put 31 million Jamaican in the account of PNP party in Jamaica. Bruce Golden, the leader of the opposition. Remember Kamala, the leader of the opposition, bust fake call. Remember Kamala, the leader of the opposition, bust the Delcy visit with the immigration cards. Well, Bruce Golden, the then leader of the opposition in Parliament, and this comes from the Jamaica Observer 2006. You can go and read the story, right? Bruce Golden, opposition leader, made a presentation about the Trafigura scandal and forced Portia Simpson Miller and her PNP party to return the checks to Trafigura, because Miller and Bruce Golden held up the bank statement of PNP, RBC Bank, First Citizens Bank. Okay. Not done there yet, you know. In South Africa, there was also a scandal with Trafigura PTE. I read this page for your last show. This is Wilmer Rumperti. This is in the Newsday, page 27. This is where Judy Raymond thinks that the biggest scandal and biggest foreign policy faux pas and the danger of the population of Trinidad and Tobago, this is where this story deserves to be. But you see, the story is under international news, and the story is big in Miami about Trinidad, Wilmer Rumperti, and 150,000, well, I know it's 148,908 barrels of gasolina, okay, at an average price of $36.15 per barrel US. See? And that Trafigura Rumperti charged Paria 7.94 million US. Was that paid Paria? From what account? By whom and when? And then Paria charged, that was for 200,000 barrels. See how I know the thing? What I go do? But then Paria sold Rumperti's other company, ES Euro Shipping, 148,908 barrels for 5.634 million US. And when I calculated the price, we made a loss after I took out the 51,000 barrels from the original price that we paid Trafigura. Trinidad and Tobago, you made a loss of 487,000 US. So what they sell all your gas for? Gas could not just store there and wait to go in with tank. What they sell all your gas for? To lose money? Gas is not banana. Gas don't go bad. Okay. Now, I need y'all, many of y'all are wondering, why will we come with this election, August 10th? Why the snap election? All the political pundits are saying, boy, we ain't understand this one. Because he ain't get to spend the COVID money yet to fling out. Only 70,000 people get a grant out of 153,000. The businesses ain't get no grant. Plenty people complaining. People under pressure. Anybody say, well, he have all that access to money without the normal parliament and so on, that he would want the time to spend it and, you know, try to mama guy people. But he rush and call it. Other people saying, but Rowley had to be a madman. How 3 weeks ago you can say SEA is on August 20th and then come and put a whole election to disturb we poor little children with bacchanal and music truck and election activity while our little poor children studying for the biggest exam of their life and their parents under stress? What sort of wicked prime minister would just ignore the SEA that he now put it? If not somebody else put it, he sit down and put it there, but then come and call election. That ain't making sense. I go help all you to make sense. Remember what I showed you? Sometimes when you look back at what Rowley says, in between the pathological, truth does jump out. Remember I showed you when he was asked, I now discovering that someone named Astrobat. Remember I showed all of that? And when I looked at it again, I heard something that I did not know because I researched and I find out. Remember about the 16th? How Rowley in that press conference, it was innocuous at first. He said the Delcy visit was supposed to be the 16th of March. When I first heard it, I didn't even hear 16th of March. Did not even care. But weeks later, when I realized that the shipment from Augustus, Italy, come to Shell, come across Trafigura, that the ship, the Manolatis, arrived in Trinidad and Tobago waters in Chagaramas on the 16th. So that Delcy was due to come at the same time that the Manolatis reached. And then I say, oh, interesting. Well, in this clip here, I played it for you all a few shows ago, a few times. But there is something that it struck me as interesting when he said it, you know. But I didn't know how interesting it was. I'm going to play the clip for you now. I want you all today is a testing all you. Because we have to put brain in election. We have to vote consciously. We have to understand what Rowley is. And why even the most diehard PNM should not vote for him. All you should do your party a favor and vote Marsha Walker and vote he out. And then all you decide who all you want to lead PNM: Brian Manning, LaHunt, Penny Beckles, Tight Pants Al Rawi, Faris Al Rental. Well, Small Pen had to go with Rowley because them stuck together. They stuck together like glue and Asha. Yeah, stuck together. So all you do, PNM, do your party a favor because all you cannot be proud of this. So I'm going to play the video. I want you all to listen carefully. There is a bit of truth that jumps out in between all of that nonsense. And it's very dangerous and very telling about why August 10th, election day. Play it for me, the Archie.
Created a story in this country that a company owned by the people of Trinidad and Tobago violated American sanctions against Venezuela by our company selling fuel to Venezuela. That is the long and short of the allegation. It found its way into Reuters, got published in an American newspaper somewhere in the Midwest, and landed in the opposition in Trinidad and Tobago. And since then, they have been milking it like a cow. Mr. Deputy Speaker, it has been demonstrated beyond any repudiation that that allegation has no basis in fact. So, if that is so, and I'm not here ruling for the Speaker, or determining or defending the Speaker's ruling. The Speaker's ruling was properly made. But the fact that he's alluding to, and which you had to caution him today on numerous occasions, not to drift off into Paria, that allegation which the UNC is the originator of, they who gave birth to that lie, Mr. Speaker, it has been shown that Paria has not done so. By irrefutable evidence put out in the public domain, whole page ads in the newspapers, members of parliament on the government side responsible for Paria, we have demonstrated to the world, not that we are afraid of anybody, but that the fact is that Paria did not trade with Venezuela on that transaction. Paria's fuel documents went to Aruba, and those were properly made, Mr. Speaker. And they could say what they want, those are the facts. And with all the help up, down, and across, we have demonstrated today, Mr. Deputy Speaker, the world, nobody has been able to demonstrate. And I
did you all hear it? Rowley, in the midst of all that have you all, some of you all shocked that a human being could be like that. Think about inside that human being, how that even come out your mouth. They should do a case study on he. But in there he said, we are not afraid of anybody. And I say, but who say you afraid of anybody? Nobody accuse you ever been afraid of anybody. We accuse you of bullying we. We know you afraid, Kamala. We know you afraid, Gary. You afraid no police because you even appear them police and all kind of thing. You afraid no cabinet. Rowley, who you afraid? You not afraid the parliament or the Senate? You not afraid the Integrity Commission? You not ridicule them. You not afraid the PCA. You not afraid the media. You not afraid the people. You not afraid the electorate. Then who you afraid? All you heard him? Where that come out from? Were you afraid? Were you afraid? How that come into your mouth? Who say afraid? Play it there, Archie.
We have demonstrated to the world, not that we are afraid of anybody, 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 not that we are afraid of anybody.
You're not afraid of anybody. You're afraid Uncle Sam. You're clung. You sell out yourself. Because you have no control over the Treasury Department. You have no control over Mike Pompeo. You have no control over the U.S. Navy. You have no control over the Attorney General Office of the USA. You have no control over that. You're balling all of that. But you're rushing who you're afraid. Where that come from? This thing getting very serious. Understand that it's not just one shipment of no gasolina. It have refinery with Roger, with Trafigura, with PTE, Trafigura, PTE, PDVSA official, Astrobal Chavez, and others with Maduro and Delcy. This is not no game. So all your media here in Trinidad could pretend it not existing. You all could hope election will come and don't print nothing. Okay. But he afraid somebody. Archie, play it again. How did that come in your mind? Where was that? Who said that? Why you bring out that? Nobody tell you afraid. We know you're not afraid. We know you're a bully. Play him, let me hear him.
We have demonstrated to the world, not that we are afraid of anybody, 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 not that we are afraid of anybody.
Eh? You're not afraid of anybody? Okay. Reuters, Friday, June 12th. Venezuela shipping magnate faces U.S. sanctions. Wilmer Ruperti. Probes focusing on cargo that Wilmer Ruperti sent in April from Trinidad and Tobago. You're not afraid of anybody. To Venezuela. Neither Ruperti or his Swiss registered company, ES Euro Shipping, responded to requests for comment from Reuters. Neither Venezuela's government nor PDVSA responded to questions. Paria Trading Company, Keith Christopher Rowley, Small Pen, did you all respond? The tanker carried about 150,000 barrels. Remember how much Paria sold to Ruperti? 148,908 barrels. Right? 904 barrels. And it was signaled in this article as Aruba as destination, but they stopped transmitting before discharging at Venezuela's El Palito terminal, according to Refinitiv Icon data. That is Refinitiv Icon data is the ship tracking data and cargo tracking data that the Aldan that left here went into El Palito, Venezuela on the Friday night and offloaded cargo. So it loaded cargo here, 148,904 barrels of gasolina from Paria, and just about 2 days later went into El Palito, Venezuela and offloaded. So in between here and that 2 days, it emptied in the sea and filled back up by down the islands. They went by down the islands. They went by what you call that power boats down there, and they fill up the 150,000 with something else. And okay, you afraid nobody. We know you're afraid nobody local. Uncle Sam is not local. Ruperti admitted. You see the man who talking because Ruperti doing this since 2002. Ruperti, when the Alkimos, a ship from Greece, he was doing the same thing and taking it Venezuela. The Greek owner of Olympiacos, the football team, say, hey boy, Ruperti, what are you doing? No. My ship not going to Venezuela. After he tried to tell Ruperti and so on, and they had sanction clause, and the owner of the ship realized Ruperti on stupidness, the man tell the captain, turn towards Houston, Texas, and pack up that cargo. And it's now in court, in a Houston court. And you know what Rumpetti is saying? He is saying that the Greek vessel owner thief the cargo. So Rowley, you're afraid? Rumpetti go sell all you out. Rumpetti, when you play, as Gary would say, when you play with dog with fleas, you bound to get jump on you. Okay. Or you play with Rumpetti. Now you see why election had to call fast. Rumpetti admitted that 300,000 barrels, he sent 300,000 barrels in April to Venezuela. He described it as humanitarian work. The U.S. Treasury Department described Rumpetti's action, that man's action, in April as definitely sanctionable. The roughly 150,000 barrel shipment at the center of the U.S. probe, not the center of the Attorney General and Small Pin probe, and I see that Junior Sammy beat the AG again, 0-27. Tight pants, loosen your pants and try to win a case now. Oh God, like the oxygen cutting off to your brain. You're so, the pants so tight, and next case you lost, boy, loosen it. The roughly 150,000 barrel shipment at the center of the U.S. probe left Trinidad. This is not Guardian Express News. This is not local, you know. This outside, this U.S., Miami Herald, okay? This Reuters. Who Rowley, imagine Rowley criticizing Reuters. Reuters giving news before Rowley born. Anyway, the roughly 150,000 barrel shipment at the center of the U.S. probe left Trinidad's Pointe-à-Pitre port aboard a Liberia flagged tanker on April 21st, signaling Aruba. On April 22nd, the transponder stopped. According to 3 sources, the ship then went to El Palito oil terminal in Venezuela. These 3 sources statements are being taken by the U.S. authorities. So Rowley, you afraid nobody? Yeah. You're afraid nobody. You're afraid nobody. What you call election right in the SCA for? What you afraid? Why you call election when you spend no COVID money yet? Why? Who you afraid? The Euro tankers Aldan did not respond to questions. Representatives of Paria, listen, Trinidad and Tobago, the international media called Paria, and in the article, representatives of your company, Paria, did not respond to questions from Reuters. That's great for the reputation of Trinidad and Tobago. The Trinidad and Tobago gas company, oil company, did not respond to questions. Why didn't respond? And you're innocent? I thought it was, what he say, irrefutable evidence in newspaper ads and by people on that side of the aisle. Or you're not on that side of the aisle after August 10th. Or you disgrace that side. A request from Maroil, which is Wilmer Rumpetti Company, to PDVSA, was made for 12 million. This is when it gets dangerous. Remember, Rumpetti, Trafigura, purchased the 321,000 barrels that moved from Augustus, Italy on February 27 towards Pointe-à-Pitre. The report in Reuters found out that Maroil, which is Wilmer Rumpetti, requested an advance payment of 12 million euros to evade sanctions. They didn't use US dollars, for a shipment from Augustus, Italy. So this shows that PDVSA money, sanction money, Maduro money, paid for the gas that left Italy that was unloaded at Pointe-à-Pitre. Irrefutable? Who you afraid? Are you all listening to what I'm saying? 12 million euros, PDVSA, Venezuelan money, banned money, sanction oil company, Wilmer Rumpetti, they gave it to him. He purchased as Trafigura PTE the 321,000 barrels of gasolina on the Manolatis that came to Trinidad on the 16th of March when Delsey was supposed to have arrived and then went into Pointe-a-Pierre for Paria on the 21st of March. They unloaded 200,000 barrels of that gasolina into Paria. Paria then loaded a ship, the Aldan, before it reached Pointe-a-Pierre. The same ship following destination website shows that the Aldan was parked up at Amau, I might be pronouncing it poorly, in Venezuela. 2 days before it came here to pick up 148,904 barrels. You afraid nobody, Rowley, still? Irrefutable evidence? So you all understand what I'm saying if I'm not being clear. The Aldan was in Venezuela park up. It sailed across to Pointe-a-Pierre, loaded with 148,904 barrels of gas bought by you, your taxpayer money, from Paria. The Aldan then left, and a day into its sail, it switched off its transponder. However, U.S. naval assets were in the area, and they tracked the Aldan to El Palito, where 3 sources in the Reuters report said the Aldan pulled in on the Friday night and unloaded. Wilmer Ruperti got 12 million euros in advance from Maduro PDVSA to buy the gas from Augustus, Italy that ended up in Paria tanks. Now, you have to work the mathematics. I don't know what happened to the other 121,000 barrels. I don't know if Paria paid the 7.94 million US to Trafigura. And I don't know if ES Euro Trading paid into RBC account on the 15th or on the 27th to present in the FCB account of Paria. These are questions that you journalists, you media, you Express, you Guardian, you Newsday, you TV6, you Mark Bassant, all you should be asking, not me. You see, we play games. Politics is not no game. We continuing. I'm taking my time. If I go over time, I'm very sorry. All you stay there, share the live. Now, let me continue the now deadly link between Trafigura PTE, PDVSA, and Patriotic with Roger, who does lean to the left and bad talk Kamla and hug up Rowley. Y'all never thought that strange. Kamla have all your people working, but you hate Kamla. Rowley fire all, but you love Rowley. I don't understand. So they shut down Petrotrin in 2017, right? Wilmer Ruperti, Delsey, and PDVSA. They created a story, remember? Petrotrin, remember Rowley saying, the government is not shutting down Petrotrin. Kamla Persad-Bissessar told you all that again 3 times on the ballot. But yet it shut down. Remember, you, the taxpayers, paid $64 million for 3 reports. The McKinsey report, the Lashley report, and the Solomon report. All 3 reports said do not shut down the refinery. Make cuts, trim the fat. Make it more efficient, but do not shut down. Keith Christopher Rowley said that it was the board of Petrotrin who told him and his government to shut down the refinery. Winifred Espine went under oath in the Industrial Court of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and under oath said, and I quote, the board of Petrotrin never recommended or instructed or told or requested of the government of Trinidad and Tobago to shut down the refinery. So why it shut down? How it shut down? And for what reason? Now, in 2017, PDVSA and Trafigura made a deal 2017. This is the same time around. Archie, wake up. I want to see when Rowley was doing the conga line. This was around 2017. Show me dance, Rowley. Around this time, put him up here. Yes. You see how he was going around this time. Trafigura PTE, which is in condition 7 of Colmimbot and Rowley's conditions to Patriotic with Roger standing to the left. They have to have that. PDVSA and Trafigura made a deal for 350,000 barrels per day of Venezuelan oil. However, U.S. sanctions crushed them and they got caught. PDVSA was supposed to take this oil and put it in offshore accounts separate for Trafigura to get. This deal with PDVSA was valued at $700 million US upfront. But the US sanctions scrambled the deal. Yet we hear now that Patriotic deal just by coincidence involved an upfront payment of $700 million US. And just making no business sense to all you people who in business better than me, all you bankers, financial students, and MBAs, and so on. Colmimbot announced that his government and Rowley's cabinet was waiving the $700 million upfront US. And everybody went, oh, why would you do that? We need money. We're under pressure. Poor people are no school feeding. You take away textbook. We have no money in sport. No money in food card, all you're cutting everything, and all you give away $700 million US up front. Didn't you all go, what? But then we were asking all the time, and the Douglas was asking, but where Roger? Roger, him look like he could buy a dynamite. He'd buy a line to the left, and if he buy a dynamite, he might fall over, so where he getting that money? But yet a $700 million, same figure from PDVSA, Trafigura condition 7, $700 million. So I ask the question, is PDVSA the patriotic financier? Roger, stand up straight and answer, boy. Is PDVSA, Maduro, Venezuela, are they the financier of Trafigura who Patriotic has completed an MOU with in October 2019? What are the conditions of that MOU? On 20th September 2019, Imbot put in that Patriotic Condition 7 to supply petroleum products during, you see how he does lean to the left? Watch. Trafigura PTE from PDVSA. In an Infodio news report, a court document in July 2017, it said that PDVSA will provide $700 million US to Trafigura. And that's what I was telling you for the 10.5 million barrels of crude. And they must put it in offshore clean locations in order to do some sanction busting. That was a done deal in 2017 while Conga Line was going on. Trafigura refused because there was a sanction clause, right? Now you must also consider that Petrotrin also holds 189,004 acres of land, 810,000 acres of offshore acreage. On October 9, 2019, this is the most important part. Argus news agency reported out of London that an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, had been signed between Patriotic Trinidad and Tobago Limited and Trafigura PTE. Newspapers, all you're not interested? All you're not interested? Well, I am interested. So when I come back to wrap up this Douglas politics, I am going to ask you the question. Archie, I want to hear Rowley saying he afraid, or who he afraid, or what he afraid. Where that come from? I want to know if he afraid, because I'm going to ask Rowley some questions. Mr. Bad John, Mr. Is you who riot? A bad boy? A bully man? A raging bull? I'm coming to ask you some questions. We coming back. Play Rowley now.
We have demonstrated to the world, not that we are afraid of anybody, 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 Not that we are afraid of anybody. Not that we are afraid of anybody. Not that we are afraid of anybody. Not that we are afraid of anybody.
Now is the time! No, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no. The time is no, no, no.
Here we are in Akono village walking with our candidate, Mr. David Nakid. This is his hometown, and I think there are about 197 Nakids in this village.
Right now, everything is looking great so far, you know, the candidate, you know, sticking up to the word, you know. Right now, we started agriculture, I think I'm putting back our Kono there for the youths and them to bring them out, you know, get them employment. David Nakid, well, you know, David Nakid is a down to earth man. Cool, he humble, you know, he just listen, the arms open out for everyone. Yeah, David representing the youths, you know. Yes, right now we are on the great road to victory.
Hi everyone, I'm your candidate to Tenafuna, David Nakid, asking you to come take a look at the energy that the UNC is generating all along the East-West corridor, especially here in the constituency of Tenafuna. Come out and support our economic and social transformation package, designated by our PL Kamala Prasad Bisasi. 50,000 more jobs, lower taxes. Come and join with us moving forward with unity.
Hi, yeah, nice to meet you. Right, looking forward to the support. Things going very well here at Barataria San Juan. The energy is high, the election bell has rung, and Barataria San Juan is ready to get Trinidad and Tobago working again under the leadership of the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa as our next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
I am Sharon Marad Durham, Shadow Councillor for Barataria, and we have been working Barataria since last Wednesday. So far, when we have finished today, we would have completed 14 of our PDs, and the reception is exceptional. Everyone is coming out. In places where we think people wouldn't be coming out, they are coming out. Now is the time for the United National Congress. It's pace on the road.
Now is the time to put them out. 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 Now is the time to put them out.
Alan Karim and Vishnu Kunkun, press record or take note of what is the timeline here. Because now is the time for questions for Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, the Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Members of the media, The Express, Newsday, Guardian, Sunshine, and any other paper, DNN, Rhoda Bharat. Anybody can use these questions. Anybody who has access to these people, please feel free. The Dougla is saying that these are the country's questions. I need no credit, I claim no credit, and I allow anybody to use the questions verbatim for the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Here we go. Dr. Rowley, who took the decision to shut down Petrotrin? Was it the board of Petrotrin? Was it Winfred Espine and Ajoda Singh? What did the Lashley report, the McKinsey report, and the Solomon report, did they recommend the closure of Petrotrin? Then who took the decision if none of these people did? Who took the decision to shut down Petrotrin? And why was it taken despite all this advice to the contrary? Dr. Rowley, who approved the sale of Petrotrin to Patriotic? Who created government-stipulated conditions, especially condition number 7, which ensured and insisted that Patriotic sign a memorandum of understanding with Trafigura PTE? Dr. Rowley, do you know any history, or did you do, or the cabinet do any due diligence on Trafigura PTE? Why did the government not accept the $700 million US upfront in the bid from the winning bidder, Patriotic? Why did the government refuse $700 million US? Or why did you delay that payment, or stretch it out, or expand the terms? Who met, Dr. Rowley, please? Who met with Wilma Ruperti in Venezuela in late 2017? I repeat, who met with Wilma Ruperti in late 2017 in Venezuela? Who continued to do follow-up meetings with Mr. Wilma Ruperti in Venezuela even up to 6 weeks ago? Let me repeat that question. I did not read it very well. I don't want you to be confused, Dr. Rowley. I know that you're not the sharpest tack in the box, so let me take it slow for you, please, sir. Who continued to do follow-up meetings with Mr. Wilma Ruperti in Venezuela up to even 6 weeks ago? Did Wilma Ruperti visit Trinidad and Tobago within the last 2 years and 10 months? And members of immigration, you all can provide us with that information. The Honorable Kamala Persad-Bissessar has an open box at the Leader of the Opposition office. You can put any information that could provide us with any information to my question. Did a gentleman named Wilma Ruperti land at Piarco International Airport at any time within the last 2 years and 10 months, please? If so, has Wilma Ruperti ever played a round of golf in Trinidad and Tobago within the last 2 years and 10 months? If yes, Archie, put him up, so my immigration will say, oh God, I know when he passed. And my people in the golf club would say, and my waitresses who serve the little grog, irrefutable, Rowley, irrefutable. Okay, you afraid nobody? Okay. If so, did Wilma, let me go back here, let me stay focused on him. Too much excitement. I have to be forensic. Sorry about that, newspaper reporters. Has Wilma Ruperti ever played a round of golf in Trinidad and Tobago within the last 2 years and 10 months? If so, did Wilma Ruperti sign the guest book at any local golf clubs? Who signed Wilma Ruperti into the golf club to play? Because a member has to sign in a guest. Please let me know. With whom did Wilma Ruperti play golf with, if he played in Trinidad and Tobago? Dr. Rowley, have you ever played golf with Wilma Ruperti? Let me repeat that. Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, have you ever played golf with Wilma Ruperti? These are just a few questions that we'd like answered, since your Paria ad was irrefutable evidence that Paria did no such thing, and it's Kamla. And to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I ask you now, this is the man, Keith Christopher Rowley, who spent billions of your dollars, left procurement legislation there unproclaimed for now 5 years. The election is coming for a full term. He just left it there while he was procuring and taking procurement to new levels of the insane, where ministers were purchasing vessels, ministers were opening tenders, where ministers were sharing secret tender information with competitors and boasting about it, where prime ministerial approval was given for crooked deals with the ferries and bridgemans. That's where we are. So now that you all are understanding a little bit more of who Dr. Rowley is, look back at Bridgemans and the collapse of the Sea Bridge. Go back. Remind yourself about the purchase of the Galleon's Passage, the purchase of the Incat vessel and the Austral ferry, the purchase of the 2 Cutlass vessels from Austral, the collapsed HDC contract signed by Newman George with Johnny Sukaran, Tight Pants, Faris Al Rental standing at his side, Marlene McDonald, who walking up and down the stairs at the magistrate court now. And in attendance was Rowley. In attendance was, while Rowley was the Minister of Housing, this contract was signed. Go back and look at it. Go back and check about the 3.625 billion in work that NCB Global Finance and its CEO, Angus Young, brother of Stuart Smallpin Young, all of those tenders that he won so brilliantly and so expertly and so intelligently over the last 4 years and 10 months. Go back and look at them. See what information you could gather. Go back and look at the sale of Clico Insurance portfolio to Sagicor. Well, I think it's all being held up, but the approval by the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago to sell to Sagicor, and the ridiculous explanation by Call member that Sagicor was local and Maritime is a fly-by-night company. For 300 million less, the bid was accepted. This government just likes to give away money. That's $1 billion US just given away between Patriotic and Sagicor. Go back and look at the SRI Bagatelle ground and find out how much they UDCOT with Noel Garcia, who's the man who spent everybody money with great corporate governance, because that's the best thing, to put one man in charge of everything, and that man is Rowley's best friend since Las Alturas. Okay. Find out how much UDCOT paid SRI for the foundation that when I was minister they wanted 36 million for, and the engineers said that they were seeing 6-point-something million work, and therefore the project stalled. Not because Anil bad mind, nothing, but the engineers, they didn't, and the contractor didn't want to accept 6 million. He wanted 36. Okay. Did he get the 36 from UDCOT and Noel Garcia? Media only ask the question. Go and check out Faris Al Rental. Did he recuse himself? If he recuses himself, does that get him away from Section 24 and 27(1) of the Integrity in Public Life Act? And if he recused himself, who was the Attorney General in the meeting to approve the cabinet note to pay the money, the rental? And if there was no Attorney General, then you had to pass back the money, boy, tight pants. Take the check out your pocket. Oh God, the check go rip. It can't fit in that pocket. And what about Franklin Khan and his rental of his Pfizer court for his wife? He separate from his wife. Them didn't light, two candles didn't light one, and they didn't become one in the Lord and so on, you know. They separate. Go and find out these things. This is Keith Rowley, who has been in charge of your money and calling other people thief all the time. Thief, 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 thief. This man, where gravel roll from by our hospital and end up by he. This man who, when his friend's son joined a company, went up in the sky in Shorelands. This man who built a sheep farm without EIA and certificate of environmental clearance. This man who say Manning, who met with one CEO, was disgusting and out of order, yet all he has done is meet with CEOs in the last 4 years and 10 months. This man who negotiate gas price and shut down Point Lisas because he's so dotish. This man who brought Emailgate. This man who went and drink scotch and eat shrimps and buy 2 ferry plus 2 cutlass defense force vessels without procurement, without board, without tender. This man who gave prime ministerial approval to Bridgman's money, 26,500 US per day for 1 year, and then for the next 2 years, 22,500 per day. Is he give that for that old crap, that Kobo star, that humbugging Tobogonian? And he lied and said it went through the normal process. It did not. He gave prime ministerial approval and then went back for covering approval. Media, all me do all your work for all you. Ask the man question. Let him ask you who riot if you riot. Now let me tell you something. Y'all, please go and check the registration list at the EBC. If your ID cards have expired, it's all right. The EBC, Maxi Coffee niece said today that if you have your card, the government has extended to December, so it's still valid. So that's not an issue. She said, well, me, I want to know if you want to believe a PNM, but that's what she said, right? But go and check the list, because if you're not on the list, you will not be able to vote. And to Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, while you are so proud to tell people that the health situation is more important than their right to vote, I suggest that you hold up, select, and cool yourself. You are not Maduro. You have already denied people the right to return home for a pandemic that you said does not exist. That your testing and your data, you've flattened the curve, yet you keep people out of their own country. Furthermore, if you do not open the borders and allow citizens to come home to exercise their civic duty and their right to vote, questions will be asked of you, not only by us, by members of the United States who are watching you very carefully. You're afraid them at all. And to anybody and to the media, let me tell you that opening the borders, of course, you can open the borders, and all citizens coming home will have to go through their quarantine and so forth, 14 days. And those who are coming in, close 14 days and less, that the government and the EBC must make arrangements for those people whose names, numbers, passport numbers, identification, rationale, and reason for coming home will be in quarantine areas across Trinidad and Tobago. The EBC must make arrangements with safety, with security, with masks, gloves, and proper equipment for EBC officials to allow those people to vote in the quarantine areas. So if there are 8 quarantine places like Cascadia Hotel and Balandra and wherever, the tennis center, the Couva Hospital, then if people are in quarantine on August 10th, the EBC must make arrangements to go to the quarantine and let those human beings exercise their right. Do not play games with people's rights. You cannot steal an election, because the whooping that you are going to get is worse than the mark when you call yesterday, call election, and one time dead man play with mega ball. Well, let me tell you, I go put up a picture there for me, because August 11th, Archie, this will be the view on August 11th. Put it up. I will still talk as you put it up. Look at this. This is what will be on August 11th, 2020. As the sun shall rise with the demise of Keith Christopher Rowley, the worst prime minister in the history of Trinidad and Tobago and the Commonwealth. That will be the picture on August 11, 2020. Check your registration, check your name on the list, and get ready to vote. Vote them out, and especially in PNM areas like Labre, Point Fortin, Labadee, vote them out. Let people understand that your vote counts, that you are important. Don't let them come and tell you their anti-crime initiative is a t-shirt. Don't let them come and mamaga you yesterday, 2 days ago, with a committee to help black people and then call election 2 days after. So when they helping the black people? I'm not understanding. And on that day, August 11th, I shall give you the mark to play. The mark on August 11, 2020 will be mark number 24. Queen, as Kamala Persad-Bissessar, will be the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. To y'all in the media, be fair, be honest, do your work. God bless. Good night.
No, 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 the time is no, 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 the time is no, 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 the time is no, no, no.
What time it is?
No.
What time it is?
No.
What time it is?
No.
Now is the time for action. What time it is?
No.
What time it is?
No.
What time it is?
No.
Now is the time for action. Now is the time to cast your vote. Now is the time to start to work. Now is the time we bring your hope. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to take a stand. Cause the UNC have the plan. Put up your hand if you understand.